My wife stole my life savings while I was in the hospital fighting for my life. I deserve this after what I've been through. She texted me. I replied with a single thumbs up. My name is Derek Castellano, 48 years old, and for 24 years I've been driving cross-country routes. Not glamorous work, but it kept food on the table and allowed Rebecca to live comfortably. I'd been feeling crushing chest pressure for weeks. Just stress, I told myself. Until somewhere outside Denver, the pain became unbearable. I called 911. They airlifted me to Presbyterian Medical Center. My heart was shutting down. 3 days later, I woke up with tubes everywhere. The nurse said I'd flatlined twice, but I didn't feel miraculous when I checked my phone. One message from Rebecca after 18 years of marriage. Screenshot of our joint account, 0 toes. Below it, I deserve this after what I've been through. $73,000. Gone. I should have felt rage. Instead, I felt relief. I sent back a thumbs up emoji. When the doctor said I needed 6 weeks recovery, he asked who was picking me up. My brother, I lied. That night, I called Tony. Need a place to stay and need you not to tell Rebecca. She doesn't know you're alive. She knows. She just doesn't know I'm not coming home. I met Rebecca at a truck stop outside Phoenix 12 years ago. Her car had broken down and I was the guy who stopped to help. Back then, she looked at me like I was a hero for knowing how to fix an overheated radiator. We married fast, but not recklessly. I was 36, she was 31. She never liked that I was gone 3 weeks out of 4, but the money was good. I'd call every night from whatever state I was crossing. Early years, those conversations lasted hours. Recently, mostly texts. Made it to Phoenix, all good here. Warning signs were everywhere. She stopped asking when I'd be home, started taking weekend trips with friends I'd never met, but I trusted her. Tony helped me into his guest room. He's a local contractor, divorced twice, understands disappointment. You should eat something, he said. I wasn't hungry. I was thinking about the house I'd bought, about the refinancing I'd completed 2 months earlier when rates dropped. Rebecca said she was too busy to attend the signing, so I handled it myself. Put it solely in my name since my credit was better. She never asked to see the paperwork. There was also the medical power of attorney I'd established last year. My nephew Jake, Tony's son, helped me with it. Law student, sharp kid who made sure everything was properly documented. Does Rebecca know you're here? Tony asked. No, and we're keeping it that way. She took everything? I nodded. What's your plan? I took a bite that tasted like cardboard. Doctor's orders say rest. But I didn't sleep that night. I remembered moments where Rebecca seemed distant, checking her phone constantly, changing passwords, moving money for better interest rates. I'd been willfully blind. On my 3rd day at Tony's, our neighbor Steve texted, Rebecca's got some guy over, thought you should know. I sat with that information for hours. I drove with Tony to the bank downtown. I requested a fraud specialist, showed them the text with the screenshot, explained I'd been unconscious when the withdrawals occurred. Mr. Castellano, we can start a fraud investigation, but given joint account access, it may be difficult. I understand, but I'd like to try. We'll need hospital records confirming your incapacity. Not a problem. I made 3 calls. First, my dispatcher requesting medical leave. Second, the credit union where I kept a separate business account. Third, Tony's lawyer friend Mitchell. I need to understand my legal position with the house, the accounts, everything. Mitchell agreed to meet. I opened my laptop, checking accounts Rebecca didn't know existed. Rebecca texted, "Where are you? Your truck isn't at the depot." I didn't respond. "Derek, this is ridiculous. We need to discuss this." I put the phone down. If you're watching this betrayal unfold and wondering how someone could steal from their spouse during a medical emergency, Hit that subscribe button because Rebecca's about to learn that some actions have consequences she never anticipated. That night, I walked around Tony's neighborhood. For the first time since the hospital, my chest didn't hurt. I realized I wasn't angry anymore. I was done. Rebecca hadn't just stolen my money. She'd given me my freedom. A week later, I went home when Rebecca would be at work. The house smelled different, cologne that wasn't mine, empty wine bottles in recycling. I packed clothes, important papers in my lockbox. Walking out, I noticed our wedding photo was missing. Back at Tony's, I met with Mitchell. Since you refinanced solely in your name with medical provisions, you have strong grounds for sole possession. What about the stolen money? The fact she cleared it while you were medically incapacitated could constitute financial exploitation. And if I want a divorce? Given circumstances, I think we can argue for an arrangement heavily in your favor. Next day, Rebecca appeared at Tony's. I was alone. The doorbell rang repeatedly before she started pounding. "I know you're in there, Derek." I sat motionless until the knocking stopped. My phone buzzed. "I'm sorry about the money. I was angry. You've been distant. I thought you were cheating." First time she'd accused me of cheating. Projection, probably. Mitchell called with news. Rebecca hired Patricia Cross. Patricia Cross, one of the state's most aggressive divorce lawyers. Cross is claiming your disappearance constitutes desertion. She's painting you as unstable. So what now? I filed for an emergency hearing regarding the withdrawn funds. Judge Williams takes a dim view of taking advantage of medical situations. 2 weeks later, we had our court date. Rebecca was there with Cross, both in sharp business attire. Judge Williams reviewed filings. "Ms. Cross, your client withdrew the entirety of joint accounts while Mr. Castellano was hospitalized for a life-threatening cardiac event. Is that correct?" Cross stood. "Your Honor, my client had every right to access joint funds. Furthermore, Mr. Castellano recently refinanced their marital home solely in his name." The judge removed his glasses. "I'm asking about timing. Was your client aware Mr. Castellano was hospitalized when she took the money?" Rebecca whispered to Cross. "Yes, Your Honor, but my client was under extreme emotional distress. While unconscious from a heart attack seems an unlikely time for Mr. Castellano to end his marriage. I'm ordering funds frozen pending divorce proceedings." Outside, Mitchell was satisfied. "This is just the beginning. Now we start discovery." A week later, Mitchell had a folder waiting. "We found something." Inside was a bank statement I didn't recognize. Rebecca's name was on it. Balance, $156.47.23. Jake's internship at the credit union gave him insights. This account opened 20 months ago. Regular deposits under $10,000, below reporting thresholds. Deposits align with your haul schedule. When you're gone, money goes in. She's been planning this for almost 2 years. That's when Mitchell produced another paper. Hotel receipt from Colorado Springs. Date, 4 months ago. I'd been in Oregon, name on reservation, Stephen Walsh. Stephen, our neighbor. We think Stephen has been involved with Rebecca for some time. He was creating false trails while they were together. The betrayal was coordinated, Stephen playing concerned neighbor while sleeping with my wife. "What's our next move?" Mitchell smiled. "Make sure they both regret thinking they could get away with this." Jake was invaluable. "The account has another authorized user, Stephen, and they've started moving money in smaller amounts. They know we're on to them." I called Mitchell. "We need to move faster." Next day, I photographed the new deck Stephen had helped build, the expensive landscaping that appeared while I was on hauls, improvements paid with my money. 2 days later, Rebecca's lawyer offered Rebecca would return 40% of withdrawn funds for 40% house equity. "They're testing us," Mitchell said. "Let them sweat." Meanwhile, I contacted my trucking company about disability insurance. "You're entitled to 65% of salary for up to 18 months. I filed paperwork that day. Next week, Tony drove me past our house, a for sale sign on Stephen's lawn. Jake confirmed Stephen had cleared his accounts, nearly $120,000 withdrawn. I called Mitchell. We need to act now. I'll file for emergency injunction tomorrow morning, freezing all assets. Next morning, Rebecca texted, "We need to talk, just you and me. No lawyers." I forwarded it to Mitchell. "Don't respond. Injunction hearing at 2 p.m. Walking into the courthouse, I spotted Rebecca and Stephen arguing in the parking lot. They didn't see me. I recorded them. Evidence of their relationship they'd been hiding. The video played on Judge Williams's computer. No sound, but body language said everything. "Ms. Cross, would you explain why your client has been declaring under oath that she has no relationship with this neighbor when video evidence clearly shows otherwise?" Cross looked shaken. "Your Honor, the nature of their relationship isn't relevant. It is when financial fraud is alleged." The judge turned to Rebecca. "Mrs. Castellano, are you planning to leave the state with Mr. Walsh?" Rebecca went pale. "The court has evidence you and Mr. Walsh have been moving substantial sums, that Mr. Walsh is selling his property, and that you withdrew funds while your husband was incapacitated. This suggests deception and intent to flee. I'm issuing immediate asset freezes for both Rebecca Castellano and Stephen Walsh. Neither may leave the county without court permission. Additionally, given Mr. Castellano's medical condition and evidence of financial exploitation, I'm granting temporary exclusive use of the marital home." Rebecca made a choking sound. As we left, Rebecca caught my eye. For the first time, I saw fear there. 4 months after the hospital, I moved back into our house. The divorce finalized faster than expected. Rebecca didn't fight after the injunction hearing. Stephen had disappeared, leaving her alone. Judge Williams awarded me the house, my truck, and 85% of our savings. Rebecca got her car and 15%. The secret account was split 50-50, but only after she paid my legal fees. I sold the house 8 months later. Bought a smaller place closer to Tony and Jake. Used some money to help Jake finish law school. I don't drive long haul anymore. Found work dispatching instead, home every night. It's quieter, but there's something to be said for stability. Sometimes people ask if I'm angry. I'm not. You can't control what others do, only how you respond. Rebecca thought she was taking everything from me that day in the hospital. Instead, she forced me to fight for myself. The heart attack nearly killed me. The betrayal nearly broke me, but I'm still here. Changed, maybe. Stronger, definitely. Some lessons you learn the hard way. Some people you lose for good reasons, and sometimes the life you rebuild is better than the one you lost. Me, given Mr. Morrison's medical condition and evidence of financial exploitation during incapacity, I'm granting temporary exclusive use of the marital home." Rebecca made a choking sound. Cross began, "Your Honor," but the judge held up his hand. "Exploitation of a medically vulnerable spouse is something this court takes very seriously, Counselor. You're fortunate I'm not recommending criminal charges." Mitchell gathered papers, trying not to look too satisfied. As we left, Rebecca caught my eye. For the first time, I saw fear there, not of me, of consequences. 4 months after the hospital, I moved back into our house. My house now. The divorce finalized faster than expected. Rebecca didn't fight after the injunction hearing. Stephen had disappeared, leaving her to face everything alone. In the end, Judge Williams awarded me the house, my truck, and 85% of our savings. Rebecca got her car and the remaining 15%. The secret account was split 50-50, but only after she paid my legal fees from her share. I never spoke to her directly again. Everything through lawyers. Last I heard, she'd moved to Denver. Starting over, I guess. I sold the house 8 months later. Too many memories. Bought a smaller place closer to Tony and Jake. Used some money to help Jake finish law school. He's going to make an excellent attorney. I don't drive long haul anymore. My heart can't handle the stress. Found work dispatching instead. Home every night. It's quieter than the open road, but there's something to be said for stability. Sometimes people ask if I'm angry about what happened. I'm not anymore. You can't control what others do, only how you respond. Rebecca thought she was taking everything from me that day in the hospital. Instead, she forced me to fight for myself in ways I never had before. Last week, cleaning out boxes, I found our wedding album. Thought about throwing it away, but didn't. Just put it back. It's part of my story now, not the end, just a chapter. The heart attack nearly killed me. The betrayal nearly broke me. But I'm still here. Changed, maybe. Stronger, definitely. Some lessons you learn the hard way. Some people you lose for good reasons. And sometimes the life you rebuild is better than the one you lost.